Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Sims. I work here at ChiroTouch. First and foremost, I'd love to welcome you all to tonight's training featuring Dr. CJ Mertz. A little background about Dr. Mertz. He's actually built his family wellness practice to over 1,200 patient visits per week. And because of this success, chiropractors started visiting his practice every day from all over the world, which then led him to begin his coaching program that has now trained over 16,000 teams in 20 countries and spoken in 12 different languages. So tonight, you're going to be learning about the referral mystery, which has led to record-breaking growth for several hundred practices. So with all that said, Doc, I'll let you take it from here.
Beautiful. Tyler, thank you so much. Good evening to every one of you. Hope you had a great day in practice and that maybe you've gotten a little bit of dinner under your belt. Thank you for spending your evening with me. This is going to be totally worth your while. And I can see that there's so many chiropractors pouring into this presentation tonight. So you should know this is one of the hottest buttons in all of chiropractic, talking about referral mastery. And the title tonight of this particular training is Turning the One into Many. I want you to understand that in practice, being able to feel like you can anticipate, like you can expect referrals coming in is one of the greatest achievements in practice. And you're going to learn even by a survey that we're going to actually show in a little bit what is going on with referral across the board in chiropractic practices. I want you to know that there are hundreds of chiropractors not only on this training tonight, but chiropractors, my clients from the left coast to the right coast, that have now put this work in play. And I'm excited to tell you that there are chiropractors even today on this line because they wanted to just get more of this. And so any of my clients that are on, I'm welcoming you as well. They're averaging 20, 30 or more referrals per month. That has nothing to do with what you may be doing in social media or doing with, let's say, outside talks or any other type of advertising that you may be doing. So tonight we're going to get very, very specific in referral. What makes it work? Why is it maybe not working for you? And how quickly can you make that change? I know for me personally, it was an absolute game changer. There are 12 very specific actionable strategies, patient communications I'm going to walk you through tonight. I'm not expecting you to put all of that in by tomorrow, not at all. I'm suggesting that you decide that you're going to at least put one or two in. Just say yes with me right now that you're going to take at least one of these communication strategies, one of these techniques, and you're going to put this in play. Perhaps the most important thing that will come from this evening is a new mindset about how you even approach referrals for the rest of your wonderful career. We start off by just recognizing, doctors, that we don't serve and then hope for referrals. This is something that I have picked up. As Tyler had said very graciously, I've had the blessing of really working with so many chiropractors across this great country and outside the country that really didn't even understand that there was a different type of referral approach. And that is that we attract referrals in order to serve more people. And that will become so clear as we move forward tonight. I want you to think about private equity firms for just a moment. Think about how they would invest tens of millions of dollars on a solid concept. And that's before a single product or service has even been bought or sold. Tens of millions of dollars on a solid concept. If those of you that are taking good notes, that's just going to bless you 10 times over tonight, because what I want you to know, and so there's not any secret, I don't want you to walk out here going, gosh, what was he thinking or saying? Chiropractic and what you do in your practice is the solid concept. All right. So I want you to know there are private equity groups that can and should pour in hundreds of thousands of dollars into your practice before they even knew what your stats are, before they even knew what the results are from the practice patient volume that you have. I mean, that's just going to add more gas to the fire. I just want you to recognize you have the most solid concept on earth in terms of health and healing. Why am I saying that early in this message tonight. You don't have to wait any longer for patients to then get to a point where somehow after that they can refer, right? Like after they get a result, or after they've been in our practice for this long, or after they've had a pre and post x-ray, or after, and then just fill in the blank, because that's what you're going to learn is the predominant paradigm. It's the prominent mindset, if you will, of the majority of chiropractors in practice today. And that's why their referrals have been lagging. That's why their referrals are not even close to what they could and should be. And if I'm speaking to you, then you should get a little smile on your face right now, because things are about to change in a big way. So in the same way, patients don't need to, as I said, get a pre and post result. They don't need to have symptomatic relief before referring, and referring multiple times. I remember the very first time, it was early in my practice, that I started doing what I'm about to show you. And what happened was, my very first patient that I remember it distinctly, it was Fred. And Fred actually not only referred his neighbor, but it seemed like within 48 to 72 hours, a pretty short period of time, there was somebody that work came in. And then it was a week later, and it was his sister that came in. And within a matter of a couple of weeks, it was amazing how one person seemed to just show out and show up for their friends and their family. And that's when it hit me, the power of what I'm about to teach you. If you don't know my story, I don't want to spend much time at all tonight talking about me. I just need you to know, if I can do it, you can do it. And I was one of those practices that was stuck at 100 patient visits a week. So I had what anyone else would consider just a very usual and ordinary practice until something else happened. And tonight is a short story on part of what happened. And that referral mastery, that's a big part of it. There's so many other pieces to it that at some point I'll share that with you in other trainings that you and I can share together. But I went from 100 patient visits a week, and I'm sure you have felt stuck at some point in your practice. It's not a good feel. But I went from 100 a week to 6 months later, I'm serving 100 people a day. Think about that for just a moment. I'm in the same office, in the same square footage, in the same town, right? And somehow stuck at 100 a week. And now I'm doing what it took a whole week to do in a day, and then doing that daily. And about 8 months after that, I'm serving 100 people, along with a growing team that I'm building to deliver all of this amazing service. We're serving 100 people in the morning shift, and then another 100 people in the afternoon shift. And I don't want you to think for a second that those were goals that I set. That was so far beyond anything I could have imagined in terms of setting goals. I just want you to get this tonight. I want to start this off with a real positive sense, and then just build some real solid foundation here, tactical strategy for you. What happens when a patient comes into your office and they, in a very short period of time, want to refer somebody? Who they do, that winds up coming into your practice, the one that was referred by another friend, and that person wants to refer to you. And they do. And that person comes in and they want to refer to you. I want you to feel that domino effect very early in this training, because you're closer to that than you could imagine. So part of kind of getting that new mindset really anchored early for you is this: when you, and I'm talking about you personally, doc, when you become a raving fan of your practice, a raving fan of your own practice, all raving fans do is tell others to come join them. So this is a rally cry for you to become the next Pied Piper, and what you're going to realize is no one's going to talk more about your practice than you talk about your practice, right? And so this isn't really about learning how to give yourself pats on the back in front of patients, as much as there's a mission you've got, and that's going to be so clear here tonight, and that you will learn how to turn your patient base into raving fans. I have to tell you right now, those practices that I have the honor and the privilege of coaching that now have done that, the needle has moved, and they've gone from what are called consumer-based patients. Those are patients that come in, they are nice people, They enjoy the care that you provide. But the reality is they come in, they consume what you give them, and they leave. And it's really all about them and your service and how it's working for them. And there really isn't any other conversation happening necessarily outside your office. They're not talking about you or chiropractic at work, at home, in their neighborhood, in their Instagram, or anywhere else. That changes tonight. See, I know what that feels like. I know what that looks like. And I'm telling you right now, that can and should change. So there's a few breakthroughs. And as I said, there's 12 very specific strategies that we're going to walk through tonight. So the first breakthrough is this, my friend. We never work to get referrals for ourselves. Do you know that's the biggest hangup that I work chiropractors through every day, all day, is the understanding that the reason why it seems to be hard is that we don't want to have people think that what we want them to do is refer to us, right? Because then that means we're the primary benefactor, if you know what I'm saying. And then that kind of makes us feel like, well, what I'm asking you to do is to help me grow my practice so I can help make more, so I can earn more money, right? And I can have a bigger reputation. Guys, none of us want to lead with something like that, right? And so therefore, referrals take a completely different path. Tonight, I'm telling you that instead of that, we inspire every day, all day, 24/7, to attract referrals for our great profession. I want you to write something in your notes right now. Maybe no one's ever told you this, so I'm bestowing this upon you right now. You, my friend, are an ambassador for chiropractic. Amen. You are an ambassador for your town. There's no other way that the people in your town are going to learn about this incredible, incredible opportunity than if they don't hear it from you or someone that knows you, i.e. your patients. That we attract referrals for our community, that group of people that we're so mission-based to serve, for our families, for our fans. So when I think about chiropractors who I first meet and they join my program and they send me their stats, and I think about a chiropractor recently, and this is sad, right? But the truth is she was accepting, or I should say attracting, one referral approximately per month, a single referral per month. What it does confirm is that it is possible. Like if you're getting at least one referral a month, it literally proves that you can do that. It proves that it does exist, but it might be so spotty. And if I'm talking to you right now, please stay with me because things are about to change in a big way, is you might only get one referral a week, you know, or two or three a month. And it doesn't seem to go like I would think it would grow, or it's very inconsistent. One month I seem to have more, the next week, next month it just seems to fall off. But one referral per week confirms your level of commitment and drive. Now that's the kind of practice that can get into 2 referrals a week and beyond. And then of course, 1 referral per day. And that's what I want to have you put your focus on right here. People like Dr. Shane, Dr. Lyle, so many chiropractors that are out there that I could share with you tonight that were more along the middle there, like 1 referral per week. They are the chiropractors now, 1 referral per day and more, much more per month. It confirms the legacy, doc, that you're capable of building. I want you to know there's more referrals within an arm's distance of you than you could imagine tonight. Let me share this with you. I want you to visualize this if you can right now. Hopefully you're just in a nice, comfortable seat and you're just actually maybe having a nice cup of coffee with you, or a glass of water, or whatever it may be, but I want you to just relax and visualize this right now. Think about this. There are tens of thousands of people within driving distance of your practice that have a problem tonight. While I'm talking to you, they have a problem only you can solve. Think about that for just a moment. Just let that settle in. I want you to get to the point where what I just said isn't sort of what Coach CJ just said. It's like, no, I'm believing that what he just said is accurate. There's literally tens of thousands of people within driving distance of your practice. Now, I didn't say you could solve all of their problems. I didn't say that. I said they have a problem, and we're talking about nerve interference. Let's be real clear, right? Subluxation, nerve interference. They've got poor health. They've got poor levels of function as a result of a core cause. They have a problem only you can solve. And what's interesting is that of those tens of thousands of people I'm talking about, how many of you have heard about the 6 degrees of separation, right? Like there's 6 people, you're 6 people away from knowing anybody on planet Earth. There's some 8 billion people that are on planet Earth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in your community, there's 1, maybe 2 degrees of separation, meaning out of those tens of thousands of people, someone you know right now tonight, or someone you know knows someone that knows those people. So when you really start thinking about how quickly could you create a massively referral-driven practice, something that you couldn't have possibly understood or contemplated before, it's happening as I'm telling you this right now. And that is what happened for me and hundreds of chiropractors that I've had the opportunity to just go knee to knee and help them put this in step by step. Referrals are not because, so let's start with this. Some of you tonight might be a little bit more like me. Now, you may not be aware of this, but if you asked any of my friends, I'm more of an introvert. Even though I publicly speak, I'm one of the top 10 most sought after speakers in the world for chiropractic. Do you know that I can't even eat before I actually do presentations? Like, that's not my natural, that's not my normal at all, is to be in front of a camera or be in front of an audience. But I realize how important it is that I do that, because if I can make a difference and a big difference in someone's lives, then that's what my purpose is, right? And so I don't want you to think you've got to be some kind of, A-type personality. You got to be so outgoing, no, that's not ever been found in any of my research or my observation about people who have really strong referral practices. It's not about patient results, which should shock you tonight, right? Because the vast majority of chiropractors I ever speak to would tell me at least 80, and that would be on the low end, right? 80% of their patients really get really favorable results. Most chiropractors would say 90% or higher, even close to 100%, right? But what we're saying is the vast majority of patients that come in to see you, they really get favorable results. That's not just you saying that. That's the patient saying, gosh, doc, thank you so much. When I came in, I couldn't even move my neck this way. I couldn't sleep well. I had headaches, 3-4 days a week. Gosh, I'm doing so much better. I may not be completely better, but where I'm at right now, oh my gosh, just so much better. And yet, do you know the majority of those people are not referring other people? So we're going to get to that tonight. We're going to find out, wow, you would think if somebody just had a really great result, they'd be telling their friends about it. Referrals are not because of personality. They're not because of patient result. And they're definitely not because of that you're on somebody's insurance plan. And so that's why you have this incredible referral-based practice. There's one thing. Referrals are because of heart, period. And I believe in the next 20, 25 minutes or so, this is going to come so clear to you, and you're going to find your path into this in a big way. My friend, heart is the product of 3 things. And this is what I have experienced myself. And this is what I've seen over and over and over again in chiropractic offices all over the country. 1, a purpose bigger than yourself. And every time that you're with a patient, every single day, every single patient, every time, there is a purpose that's bigger than that patient, that's bigger than you, and it's right there with you at the adjusting table. It's right there through that appointment. For those of you that do, let's say, more than adjusting, and there's certain therapies that go along with that appointment, there's what you're doing with that patient, there's the patient, there's you, and there's this purpose that's bigger than all of that. The second is a burning desire. Please say that with me. Yeah, a burning desire to serve more people. Not like, gosh, it would be nice if, my practice went from 100 a week to 120 a week. I could already see the benefits that would come from that. That would be cool. That would be good. No, a burning desire to serve more people. And third is the FCB, which, as you know, is your faith, confidence, and belief to press forward through some fears, some anxieties, some awkwardness. We're going to press through here in a big way as we go through these 12 strategies. Press forward, press through. When these 3 entities are with you, you're unstoppable. So I want you to just be high integrity with me right now. And all I want you to do is answer. I want you to give an answer, whether you're writing it down or just put it in your head. But which of the following referral statements most accurately describes you and your practice? A, I focus on providing great care and I just hope my patients refer. Does that sound like that's you? B is I try to delegate asking for referrals to my team so I can just focus on their care. Is that more like you and your practice? The third one, C, says, I do well with referrals when patients mention a friend or family member that's in need, and then it's about following up and making sure that that person, gets on our schedule book. Which one of those three maybe sounds more like you? And then the fourth and last, D, is we use a proactive referral system which regularly produces referrals on my schedule book. Well, for sure, go ahead and put a number, put a letter, right? A, B, C, or D down. Did you do that? Okay, I'm trusting you did. What I want you to get tonight, and this should be sobering to you. Hundreds of chiropractors being put in the same survey, and here's what I need you to know. Less than 15% of our profession states letter D. Less than 15% of our profession uses a proactive referral system which regularly produces referrals on a regular basis in their schedule book. Everyone else is a mix of A, B, and C. The larger of those three being I do well with referrals when somebody tells me they want to refer their sister or their brother, right? But that's hit and miss, right? And so that's not something you can count on. That's called passive referral, where the D is called proactive referral. So the rest of this training is about D, okay? I wanna at least walk away from this training tonight with you and I committing right here, right? I am the D category, right? And that is the world-class category. So a contagious referral culture, it doesn't start with looking at your schedule book. It actually starts before you even get to the office. The culture begins as you pass by homes and businesses on the way to your practice. See, this is where that referral mindset, the new one that I'm hoping to foster in you, which I did not have early on, and then I did, and it became so real. How real did it become? Well, here's the second breakthrough tonight. Notice we haven't even got to the 12 strategies. That's coming up next. If you don't have some tears in your eyes, Doc, as you drive up to your practice, keep driving until you do. What does that speak of to you? What does that bring up inside of you right now? And I hope it goes back to, you know what Coach CJ was saying, that there's tens of thousands, put whatever number you want, hundreds, right? Hundreds, tens of thousands of men, women, children that are within driving distance of my practice. They're not feeling well at all right now. They're not going to sleep well. They're having pain as they went through dinner tonight. They were exhausted just trying to finish work, or maybe they're at school and it's hard for them to even focus. All these issues going on. Look at their medicine cabinets and how many different types of medicine they're taking just to try to get through all of this. And you're driving on the way to work and you have not cognitively thought about all of the sea of people that are in a lot of pain, sickness, illness, pain, disease, that are within driving distance of your practice, that have a problem only you can solve. Man, I want to get in touch with that before I even open the door, before I even look at my schedule book today. That's where I want to be. So there's several proven internal strategies in my Accelerate coaching program, the Accelerate system, to successfully attract patient referrals. This is sort of one spoke of a 12-spoke wheel in my coaching program, and we're going to just dive into that right now. So those of you that are taking notes, fabulous. Otherwise, just take what you can of what is about to hit you. It's going to be a windstorm. So I think these are in order. I think they're in order even sort of chronologically as we meet our patients. This actually turns out to be, and I'm going to show you specifically where these are communications from, for example, a CA that you have at the front desk. And then there's going to be other examples. This is what you, Doc, can and should be communicating with your patients. Notice on this very first phone call, there are two things. And again, I'm only focusing on referral. So I'm not going to be giving you all of the communications from front to back. I'm just pointing out those referral moments of opportunity. That's why your CAs need to be so on purpose as well, because when that new patient calls, you only have one time to make a great first impression, and then it's done, right? And so we can't get this back if we miss it on that first phone call. Number one is, which one of our patients, Mrs. Jones, can I thank you for referring today, right? Referring you. So what does that speak of? Well, let me just also give you some really big global research data as I go through this so you can see why I'm strongly suggesting that you put every piece of this in play. Do you know that at least 8 out of 10 people are going to say to your front desk CA, no, I just saw your sign when I was driving by. I saw your ad, on social media. In other words, 8 out of 10 people minimally are not going to tell you that somebody they know referred them. What did you just do? What did your CA just do for that person and for your practice, for your community, and for chiropractic? I want you to see it as big as it is, even though it's a really small piece, right? Something as simple as, which one of our patients, Mrs. Jones, can I thank for referring you here today? No, I saw your sign when we were driving by. What kind of practice did you just seed in that person's mind that you have? Yes. Oh my gosh. So I guess people refer to this practice, that people refer to this doctor. That's the first place that they know you're a referral-driven practice. I want you to write that down. People need to know before they even come into your office, you are a highly referral-driven practice. Even if you're not yet, right? That's the point. Even if you're not yet, this is your new mindset. This is your new path, and I'm claiming it. This is my new culture, and I'm claiming it. On that same phone call, which usually takes but 2 minutes, right? There's one more very important question, and that is this appointment, Mrs. Jones, is this for you today to schedule or for your whole family to get their checkup? Again, 8 or 9 times out of 10, what do you think that patient's going to say? No, that's just for me today. What did you just seed? What did your CA just seed before getting off of a 2-minute phone call? Oh, they take care of families. Wow, that's amazing. It's a family-based, family-driven practice. So this person now has a scheduled appointment to see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. And what they know is that you're a referral-driven, family-based or family-driven practice. I can't even begin to tell you the size of each one of these as we go through this together. So now the patient is in your office, right? So we fast forward and they're now in your practice. In this third strategy, what we see here is our mission, and this could be done by a CA, it could be done by the chiropractor, is simply to say to that patient, our mission, Mrs. Jones, is to teach as many men, women, and children in our community as possible about how the body gets sick and how chiropractic helps sick people get well and stay well for life. Nancy, we need help to spread that word, and we need your help to spread that word. Do you notice what just happened is there's something bigger than you, something bigger than this person, and this is what we're wanting the entire town, the entire community to know, is that there are so many sick people, and people need to understand how that body gets sick and how chiropractic helps sick people get well, right? Druglessly, without surgery, and to be able to stay well for life. And Nancy, we need your help to spread that word. Notice that right here, it's not so much that there's like any hard sell, that you're not going to feel any of that tonight. The highest referral-driven clients that I have are just some of the kindest, just gentle beings that you would meet, and you'd go, no way, he or she is averaging 30 plus new patients a month by referral. They just don't seem to be that jacked up, right? They just don't seem to be that motivational. They don't seem to be, just so A-driven. No, you don't need to be that. You just need to be consistent and on purpose. And so now as we move into this, we see now the doctor is communicating with this patient for sure. And the doctor says, hi, Nancy, I'm Dr. Mertz, and it's a pleasure to meet you. I saw that Amy referred you to our practice. We'll stop there for a moment. That's only if we know that this person was referred by somebody else. So we're going to see 2 different versions of this in just a moment. This one here, though, notice how it continues. She, being Amy, our patient, has been such a great patient and has had great results herself. I'm going to give her a big thank you, and I hope when you get a chance that you'll do the same. We're going out of the way of being able to acknowledge they were referred, who referred them and thanking the referral and asking the person to thank that referral. Do you know that when you do that, the chances of you getting a referral within the next 48 hours nearly triples than if you don't say that? So there's nothing here that I'm going to tell you tonight that is fact. Like, this is all just lean, mean referral machine, right? This is how it works every single time. And so I'm just asking you, as we go through this, what parts of this maybe do you do better than other parts? What parts might you go, gosh, I've never done that before, or my CA's never said that before? And that's good, right? That's good to kind of figure out, oh, okay, this is what we can grow into. And the biggest referral practices in the world are doing it just like this. Now, what if they weren't referred by a patient? Hi, Nancy, I'm Dr. Mertz, and it's a pleasure to meet you. I noticed that you saw our ad on Instagram that actually led you to our practice, and I'm so grateful that you actually saw our ad. Most of our patients are referred by other satisfied patients, and I want you to know that is my #1 goal for you. So notice how it just came right on back to, we are a referral-driven practice, even if that person came in from an advertisement or something else. So I want to continue on here, and as we look at number 5 out of 12 tonight, you can see we're in succession, right? So it's before they even came into our office. We're on day 1 now. Number 5 says, Nancy, Dr. CJ has included 3 testimonials. Let me stop there for a moment. This patient already went and got their consultation, their exam, their x-ray, their digital x-ray. They wound up getting a scan. Whatever you're doing in your practice, that full evaluation has been done, right? So they're back at the front desk and they're checking out and they're scheduling their report of findings. That's when you hear your CA saying, Nancy, Dr. CJ has included 3 testimonials that we would like you to read before your next visit. They're not only amazing stories of healing through the work done here in our practice, each of these patients, watch this, were referred by someone else who had a breakthrough with their care. If I had enough time, I would tell you how big number 5 is, other than to say, when your patients go home and they read 3 testimonials before they come back to your report of findings, your conversion rate skyrockets. Did you know that? So if you're someone right now going, what did he just say? Yeah, listen up. If your patients are not reading testimonials before they come back to the report of findings, I'm telling you that's hurting your conversion. Whereby them reading those testimonials, your conversion rate skyrockets. But I'm not even talking about conversion tonight. I want to tell you that the moment they actually read even one, let alone all 3 of those testimonials, within 48 hours, you have just tripled the likelihood of a friend, a coworker, a neighbor coming and getting scheduled in your office. It's interesting, just talking to one of my clients just in the last week, they were talking about one of their patients that had come in, and they do this regularly now. You know, they have a welcome packet, and in the packet are these 3 testimonials I'm talking about. The patient goes home, they got the same type of instruction that you just heard, right? So their CA said that, the patient's now coming back. The patient's at the report of findings, they're just scheduling, they're just checking in. And so the CA welcomes that patient back, and she happens to say, the CA, by the way, Mrs. Jones, did you get a chance to read any of those testimonials that Dr. CJ had sent home? Of course, it was one of my clients. And almost got interrupted when the patient said, oh my gosh, yes, one of those stories that you brought home to me reminded me exactly of my sister. And so as a result, literally within 48 hours, the sister's already on the books and scheduled. And how did that all happen? Do you understand? They hadn't even received an adjustment yet. I'm trying to show you how the busiest referral practices in the world work. It's about a bigger purpose. It's about that burning desire to serve more people. And it's about your FCB, right? That faith, confidence, and belief, just to continue to push forward. And what does that really mean? Putting these communication strategies in play with tremendous fearlessness, faith, confidence, and belief. So I'm asking you, what does your testimonial look like in the welcome packets? And do you have a welcome packet? That leads us to the 3rd strategy. And when it comes to referrals, you really just have one of 2 mindsets that I've ever seen. And that is one, just wait and see what happens. You know, it's in other words, I'm just going to serve my patients as well as I can, and I'm going to love them and I'm going to care for them. And then let's just see what happens. Or let's take charge and let's lead patients to help someone they love. You're going to see how big of a fan I am on number 2. And while I was kind of number 1 early on, I am absolutely begging you to stay with me right now and learn how you and your team can become a let's take charge practice. The only difference between the two of those that I have ever seen in the 30 years that I have been a chiropractor, practicing, coaching, heart. It all comes down to heart. So let's get after this. How many times have you heard a patient say to you, or maybe to your CA, gosh, I wish I would have known about this sooner, right? They're now actually getting the care and they're kind of pissed off, you know, like they're so happy they're feeling better, but man, I've been taking these migraine pills and I've been taking these medications and nothing seems to have worked. And like nobody told me to chiropractic. I mean, I went to 2 to 3 different medical doctors and there's usually a little upset around it. Like, why didn't I know about this sooner? Some mom that's been dealing, can't sleep at night because what's going on with their child comes in and in less than a week, oh my gosh, they're breathing and their allergies and are not there. And like, why didn't the pediatrician tell me this and so forth? Why did I not know about this sooner? I'm asking you to take a look at that now tonight and say, that's your whole town. That's tens of thousands of people within driving distance that have a problem only you can help. Let me show some stats just to kind of back this up. Your average patient, write this down, knows about 50 loved ones. The actual stat is 48, so I'm just rounding it up to 50. 70% are in pain. 70% of your town tonight, 70% is in pain, fatigued, or depressed, or all of the above. 50% tell at least 2 other people, and that would be maybe going to lunch with a friend or a sister, or it's by text or Facebook or however it's going to happen, Instagram. At 50%, tell at least 2 other loved ones about their health challenges. So think about this. If I have 30 people coming into my practice today for care, you have 30 people that came in today, let's say. Here's the leap. Here's a major leap in this new mindset that we're creating tonight together. It's not 30 people. Each of those 30 has 50 people that they love, and those 50 people love them. So it's really not 30, it's 30 times 50. There's 1,500 people that you could be influencing today. Did you know that? But I could actually just play off my schedule book and I could have had 30 people come in and I did a wonderful job, you know, serving the 30 and had no traction at all on any of the 1,500. Or I could have served 30 today. And by the time the dust settled and the day was done, that 30 meant, wow, we really reached to 35 or 40. Today we did that. And our patients are sharing this in such a viral way, and it's so new and different than anything I've ever seen, and it's happening literally step by step in the way I'm describing it to you tonight. Let's continue. Here's number 6. Congratulations, Nancy. We are excited to begin your journey through chiropractic corrective care. I want you to know that for the next 2 weeks, okay, stop. Where are we? We're in the report of findings. They agreed to your care plan and we're ready to get started. And this is either the CA or the chiropractor. I want you to know that for the next 2 weeks, how many weeks? For the next 2 weeks, that's right. You can schedule your family for their checkups at no added charge to you. It's part of our mission to have families get their spine and nerve systems checked properly. That's a huge part of what we want to do for every family in every household in our neighborhood, in our community, right? And again, that's such a purpose-driven, love, heart-based message. Now, they can get their family checked at any other time and they will pay full rate for doing that. But for the first 2 weeks, that is at our expense. Notice the word free isn't in there. It's just it's added at no charge to you, right? It's normally $250, for example, per person. There's no added fee. Think about this. If a mom comes in and brings her 2 children and her husband in based on what I just told you, and you now have the data in front of you, you now have dad's consult, exam, and x-rays, you have the children's consult, exam, scans, for example, what do you think the odds are, high or low, knowing the allergies, the pain, the chronic fatigue, the various other things that everyone in the family has, right? Everyone in the family has something going on, and you now know it because they've gone through your consult, exam, and x-ray. What are the odds that they're going to actually start care with you? And that's when the magic happens. And that's when you start realizing, I just don't have enough family checkups going on. Well, why don't you have enough family checkups going on? Every person should be bringing their family to come in and get checked up. It's the new mindset. I need to be proactive as opposed to sort of waiting to see what happens. And gosh, if I do a good job, maybe she'll bring her husband in, maybe I'll get to meet their children. It's a let's see and wait see what happens. We're not there anymore. That is gone. There's not enough time for that. So for those of you doing workshops, you're going to love this. For those of you not doing workshop, this might inspire you like crazy to do it. You begin by writing down friends or loved ones who are fatigued, battling with stiffness or pain, sinus problems or allergies, gut health or mental health issues. This is at the end of your workshop. I call it our I care form, right? And that is literally on a clipboard underneath their chair. So they bring it up and there's a pen and they're starting to write down names. Well, what are the names you think they're writing down? Some of the 50 I told you about a minute ago, right? It might be a spouse, a neighbor, a coworker, their boss, somebody from church, somebody from school, and they're writing down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names. That's what's going on. Now, top 5, right? We're talking about the names they wrote down. Of the 5 people you wrote down, this is you talking to your audience, underline the one, right? So they wrote down several names, underline the one who probably needs the help most right now. I want you to visualize this. I asked you to visualize something earlier, which was the tens of thousands. I just want you to see yourself in front of a modest audience. You know, there might be 5 people, 10 people in your audience, in your office, and they've all written down 4 or 5 names. And now you literally see them underlining or circling or putting, an asterisk next to that one, right? That one that we just said, who's the one? Underline the one who probably needs this help most right now. Everyone has done that. And then you say, I just want you to know, please take out your phones right now. Do you know no one ever does that? It's like during a presentation, it's pretty much, I want to make sure it's muted, right? No one's on their phones. That's the goal, right? I'm doing just the opposite. I want you to pick up your phone right now, please. And what I want you to do is just give them a call. Go ahead, and the person that you just, could you just give them a call right now? Tell them where you are and let them know that if they call here within the next 45 minutes, this $250 exam that we do, this consult exam x-ray, because you know they're already dealing with something, right? It might be battling with chronic pain or fatigue or allergy, and they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. Give them a call right now. Tell them where you are right here. Tell them that in the next 45 minutes, our $250 exam, including x-rays, is just $25, for example. Again, you could do that at no cost. You could do it for $49 or $99. I don't want you to get stuck on 25. What I want you to get is this. There's an audience of people that are actually making one phone call. And what you hear is 3, 5, 10, 15 conversations. Hey, Janet, this is Susie. Listen, I'm at my chiropractor's office right now, and I just heard this amazing presentation, and he was talking about how the spine and nerve system can really cause sickness. And I was thinking about your allergies, and I was thinking about, whatever that was, right? And what he said was, if you actually called this number, which is right on the I care form, it's right there, your phone number. If you call this number, hey, just write it down. If you call right now, what he said is, if you call in the next 45 minutes, you can get this. And I really thought that could help you. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. Just in this month, the number of chiropractors across the country have done exactly what I just told you. And the number of people who've picked up their phone and called a friend and said what I just told you. If I had enough time to tell you how many people made that phone call within 45 minutes and are now a referral on those doctors' schedule books, you'd go, how did I not know this? And by the way, I need to get back to doing workshops, and that might be something else I can help you with. Number 8 out of 12, how you doing? I know that it's a little later, but for those of you that are just going, man, this is so good. I've just needed to just kind of really reframe, maybe just reinvent my referral mindset and my strategy. I hope and pray that's what's happening for you as it has happened for so many chiros. Number 8 is before I begin your adjustment today. So now we're into regular adjustments, right? This is what we call tick, chiropractic, right? So we're at the table, and typically this should happen before we actually begin adjusting. So, hey, Peter, great to see you, my friend. Hey, before we begin adjustment today, I just wanted to ask you about your family, your friends. Remember the 50 I was talking about? So, Peter, who do you know who? That might be a very important phrase you write down. You're going to see that several times in the next couple minutes. Who do you know who? Notice the question isn't do you know someone who? It's never yes or no questions. Never ask yes or no questions. It is who do you know who? Who do you know who is on and off medications, maybe in and out of doctor's offices or battling with sickness or pain? Who comes to mind? And then just shut up. And what you're going to notice in about 2.5 seconds or less, oh gosh, my sister Madeline. Oh, you know what? I was just talking to my neighbor. All of a sudden, there's like, that person was literally top of the mind, but they weren't going to share that with you for some reason until you asked. And it was your compassion, your faith, confidence, and belief. You're bigger than this moment, right? This purpose that's bigger than this adjustment. Hey, I just want to, before I begin your adjustment today, I just wanted to ask you about maybe a family or a friend. Who do you know who? Oh my gosh, I was just talking, and now there's the name. And you know what most chiropractors tell me? Gosh, if they actually said, oh, it's my sister, it's my brother, it's my neighbor, I already feel confident about how I can lead it from there, right? If you need more help with that, obviously I'm here and I will help you with that, right? And your team. But from that moment on, like I literally have a person's name, and not only have a name, I have a relationship with this person. There's no question they're going to be on the schedule book like in the next couple of days. But I'm asking you, like, just in the last couple of days in your practice, think and just be as honest you can with yourself. Like nobody else is going to know this, just you. How many times have you done that? I mean, think about how many people laid down on your table just in the last couple of days where you had the chance to say, hey, look, before we actually get this great work going on, I just wanted to ask you about your family. I just wanted to ask you about your friends. Who do you know who? Like, how many times does that come up? See, and what I realize is that if I'm in this old mindset where I'm pretty much just kind of focused on my schedule book and I'm just kind of doing what's on my schedule book, the referral mastery is not available to you. And it won't be. It won't be for your entire career. But tonight, maybe a spark has happened. And you're starting to see that I could do. And you know what? That's proactive, right? That's not waiting to see what happens. I just made something happen. I took charge out of love, out of purpose, right? Number 9, Sandy, you may have seen on our whiteboard. Those of you that don't have a whiteboard, that's a great suggestion. Our theme of this month, I just put in category, was fatigue. It could be whatever you want it to be. You could also have some of our advanced clients, they've actually got a new theme per week. I wouldn't suggest that before we get to just once a month, right? So now you've got a theme. Who do you know who? Notice that's right back there again. Who do you know, right? Who's in and out of doctor's offices, who might be in and out of on and off medication, right? That may be battling with chronic pain or fatigue. Who comes to mind? Who's missing home or missing school? These are you know what those do? Those are just primers to go, oh, I know, oh my gosh, right? Less 2.5 seconds or less. Wow, I was just talking to so-and-so, right? It was the whiteboard that people see. Like, this is our theme. This is what we're focused on right now. Are people in our community that are suffering with fatigue, with chronic pain, with fill in the blank. Do you have a theme? It's interesting that the moment you have a theme, it's as if all attraction of referrals just got that much closer to you. But if we don't even have a theme, here's what I've noticed, and I've talked to thousands of CAs about this as well. So they're the ones that would probably tell me this the most, is it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Like, if we don't have a whiteboard and we don't have a theme, I'm probably not asking for referral as often as I could or should. And most of those CAs would say, or at all. But as soon as there's a whiteboard up, and it's literally right in my eye line, and my patients are seeing it, I'm more apt to get past that little awkwardness, and I dive into my mission, and I ask these questions, and I have these really beautiful strategic communications. Number 9 is massive. Cindy, when you refer a friend in for their checkup this month, you have blessed someone's health and automatically entered them into our grand prize drawing. So those of you that have contests coming up, now contests could be any month at all, any month of the year. Notice where we're at. We're just about ready to come into Thanksgiving, right, next month. And I just want you to know, if you've never done a canned food drive, that is insane. And so for people to be able to feel again the size of your purpose, which might be, for example, this November, we want to feed 50 families that would otherwise not have a Thanksgiving. We want to be there for them, right? And we just kind of connect with a local church, somewhere that someone who's going to disseminate the food, so you don't have to deal with that, right? You just get a nice big basket. And what we say to our patients is, your friends, your neighbors, right, your coworkers, for 3 to 5 canned goods, that's all they have to bring in, is a little bag of canned goods. That is the payment for their consult, exam, and x-ray. And they need to know, not only is that going to bless them, they're going to be helping us feed a family. So in your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to introduce 50 new patients to my office this month, and I'm going to feed 50 families. It is such a beautiful thing. And those patients that have now referred a friend that has brought in the canned goods, there's like a flat screen that we have, which is a grand prize. Your patient just got entered into the grand prize. So it's just win, win, win. And maybe you've never heard this before, and I'm just probably just cracking your skull wide open. Our clients do this at least 3 or 4 times a year, and it is a home run every single time. That's number 10. Number 11, John, this month we're celebrating all our patients with a patient appreciation party. Well, that could also be part of, for example, next month is what's called a PAD, or a patient appreciation day. That's when what we would do is have adjustments only that day and new patients. There's no biostructural exams or re-exams. There's no report of findings. We keep it really lean, really simple. Why? Because we want our patients to actually bring friends in on that day. We'll have it catered, right? So there's maybe music. There could even be somebody that's there that is offering some type of, maybe somebody's playing a guitar, or there's maybe somebody that makes balloons. That's a cartoon, like a clown or something, right? So you can kind of think just up what would be kind of fun for you to create a party atmosphere and have a great party, really thanking people for choosing chiropractic, choosing you as their chiropractor, and then opening this day to not only prizes that they could be winning, but that they could actually referring friends in to be able to find out how this could really be of great help to them. I'm telling you that a party like this done properly is at least 10 to 15 referrals in a party, period, at least. Jim, now that we have scheduled you for a complete exam for, let's say, $25, I want you to know that you are eligible to pass on this same offer to another friend or family member if they contact us within the next couple of hours. So you're out at a screening. This is the only one that I'm giving you tonight that's outside of what's going on in your practice. I know there's many of you that are ready to and should be, like in the next 6 weeks, you should be out doing screenings. It's the best time of the year to do that. That once you have somebody signed up, notice what happened. I just signed someone at the screening. This is called parlay. So now that you've scheduled for your complete exam for $25, I just want you to know that you're eligible to pass it on. So somebody that you can contact, somebody that you already know. And what would you say? Who do you know? Look at that coming back again. Who do you know who's on and off medications, maybe in and out of doctor's offices, maybe missing school, missing work, battling with sickness, stiffness or pain? Who comes to mind? Who comes to mind, Jim? Oh gosh, that's my neighbor, Bob. Yeah. Listen, here's our phone number. Have him contact us, and on behalf of you, he's going to get the same opportunity. Even though he's not at this screening, he's going to get that same opportunity because of you. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 10 a.m. I say all of this tonight, and I know covered so much so fast. I don't, again, want you to think about you're going to be doing all of this. I just want you to know all of it's possible. I want you to know that, but there's got to be something that you decided already you're going to do. Gaining new referrals, which is the 4th breakthrough tonight, each week is like counting white cars on the road. They're everywhere. I remember my younger brother, who's my best friend, Steve, we'd be going from California, Northern California to Oregon, and our parents would be taking our whole family on vacation. You guys remember the station wagons where the back seat faced backwards, right? So he and I would be back there, and of course we were just rebels, and we'd be wrestling and just making havoc. And my mom's looking over my dad, and he's about ready to explode. And so she, so brilliantly, turns back to say, hey, CJ, hey, Steve, you guys ready for a contest? And of course, that's what we lived for, right? So she'd say, okay, on 3, I want to see which one of you counts the Greatest number of white cars on the road. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, 347, 348. And sure enough, within 5 minutes, he and I are sleeping on each other's shoulders for the next, 2-3 hours, which is exactly what mom expected and hoped for. Dad's cool about all of that. And what I realized was when I started looking for white cars, how many of them do you think I saw? They were going by me the whole time. I didn't notice them until my mom said, hey, count them. And all of a sudden, I couldn't count them fast enough. There are tens of thousands of people within driving distance of your practice. Do you see them? Are you thinking about them before you even put the key in the door? When you get the white car on the road approach to just how many people in your town that you can bless, it's really, really special. And I want you to know that if you reach out, success@cjmertz.com, we're going to get you scheduled. I'll talk to you one-on-one. Let's talk about your practice problems. I'm going to tell you what I would tell a client. This is what I'm recommending based on what you've told me. And then I'll let you know what my program is and if it fits or not and how I can help you most. Most importantly, let's get under the hood together and see how that works. There may actually be something even from this training that you want to drill down a little further on. Happy to do that with you. Success@cjmertz.com. Thank you for coming tonight, everyone. God bless you and have a great week.